Hey you guys, sometimes with anything it can help to learn by seeing what not to do in any kind of line of endeavour or whatever. So in this video I'm going to share with you possibly one of the worst games of chess ever played. It's littered with blunders, mistakes, missed wins. So I really am, and of course I'm speaking on behalf of my opponent as well, but my opponent has more of an excuse because he's 100 points lower rated. Here we are, dropping our trousers for your entertainment. Alright. Are we going to do this? Okay, let's do it. Let's do this. Alright, you promise not to laugh. Yeah, you promise? Pause if you need to. So I promise not. Okay. Right, so e4. The Freddy Krueger repertoire continues with e5. And we have the bishop's game. In response to this, I play the Calabrese counter gambit. Now, you will very often get takes. And takes is good. This is fine. It's not best for white, however. If they take, by the way, I think you have to play your knight out here first before you are tempted to push d5 and hit the bishop. Okay, here my opponent plays the very best move. I think d4 is... There's d3 and there's d4 as well. But this is very challenging because now, if I take the free pawn, which is good, knight takes e5, and here, this is actually quite an unusual response. Bringing the knight out is something like the 6th most common move from white, and here, I start to lose my composure because I realise my opponent is attacking f7 twice. And quite honestly, if you're going to go down the Calabrese counter gambit route, A, you need balls of steel, and B, you need to understand what happens in a pattern like this. Now here, we have our first complete blunder, because I play knight to g6. You can see what the eval has done. It's gone all the way to 11.7 in white's favour. Damn it. Right, so I'm thinking, well, how do I defend this? How do I possibly defend this? So I'm defending it twice now, okay? So for example, knight takes, or bishop takes, I recapture the knight, then I can capture the king, and I think we're okay, but of course it falls to queen h5, check. Ouch. Ouch. Now, what I should have done, the only decent move here, really, for black, is actually queen g5. Queen g5 is bizarre. Looks bizarre. I mean, you're attacking the knight, you're attacking the g2 pawn, which is a bit of an Achilles heel. So, for example, if the knight comes down there and attacks your rook, queen from here can take on g2, force the rook across, and this is actually not too bad. This is only if your opponent knows what they're doing, right? I did not do that. I fell for queen here. And then, so, by the way, I'm going to add the mistakes and blunders and stuff. I'll add all the fish comments along the bottom so that you can giggle along with this game because it's absolutely hilarious. But okay, so I've only really looked at the first few moves. So white now takes on g6, and here I believe that again something like queen f6 was the best move. So he's attacking my rook with a threat of a discovery. Okay. So I capture the knight, which apparently is not ideal either. So queen takes with check. Now e7 is forced, and now white actually has, I think, a forced mate in 3. So what white should have done, well, I think white captures. No, not that at all. Not that at all, precious. Okay, I think white captures this pawn. What white should have done is this. Okay, because notice my king can't go to either of these squares because of that horrible bishop, okay? Now, if I stay on the e-file, then that is simply checkmate, isn't it? No, I can block with the queen. If I stay on the e-file, what's this then? That's not blockable. Here, maybe then queen takes there. Something like this, forcing the king back. There is definitely a forced mate, something like that. I think that might even be mate. But yeah, that's the kind of sequence. So, white missed that, obviously, because, we miss things. So it's queen g5 check, king d6, queen d5 check. Oh. Okay, so queen here, king d, queen. Queen g5 check. Okay, yeah, here. King to here, queen here, king e7, and then queen e5, yeah, is now mate. That's right. So good to know these patterns, right? It's really worth studying these patterns, which we don't see. So anyway, white does this, which was not right. I then go here, and he now has mate in 2, with queen d5, king back there, queen here, right? But he of course misses that. He decides to castle instead, and I play queen g5. White is now back plus 21. It's literally, if you had 21 more pawns, that's 2.5 extra rows of pawns that white could have. That's what 21 pawns looks like. Okay, anyway, so brings out his knight, thinking, let's develop. Okay, I now propose a trade of queens, but I'm also threatening checkmate in 1. Okay, so he decides not to trade queens, but instead moves the queen over there. I now move my king, attacking the bishop. White now has a forced mate in 12. Bishop moves out of the way. I push d6 now. And weirdly, I'm strangely kind of coordinated. Rook defends that. This is not that obvious in how to break through. The best move here, apparently, is d4, according to the machine. So he gives check. My king comes back. I'm just kind of being conscious I don't want to leave my king and queen lined up with each other. Now he plays d3. And now I'm actually in the lead. Best move here is knight to g4. Again, threatening mate. I don't play that move. I play, of course, bishop f5. Attacking the queen, also forking the knight. So he replies with a check. I move out the way. Another check. I move back. At this point, I'm thinking, I will take a draw. Hell yeah, right? So queen now moves out of harm's way. Bishop e7 hits the queen again. And that takes white from +2 to +7. Best move here, queen e3 check. Which he finds. Woohoo! Okay, so he's +7 again, nearly +8. I move my king out of the way. Bishop c4 check is okay, but it allows me to play b5 and block. Bishop comes back up here, and now I push c5 thinking that's a jolly good move. Apparently it wasn't, according to the eval. Apparently the only decent move here again is knight g4, and I just missed it. I got too nervous about my king, and I thought let's just solidify, build a bit of a defense here, and play that. But yeah, this is a nice move. Hits the queen, threatens h2. Well, in fact, yeah, threatens queen takes h2. So if I played that, queen can't go there. Queen would have had to have gone here. So yeah, if, from here, knight g4, queen g3, bishop takes e4, remove the knight, then bishop c3, and I'm slightly better in that situation. But I don't play that, I play this. And give white an overwhelming advantage, which white capitalises on with bishop to c3, attacking my queen. I'm thinking, oh no, it looks like my queen is trapped here. In fact, my queen is trapped here. Right, can't go anywhere on that diagonal. Obviously can't go there. There, queen takes me. There, queen or pawn or something takes me. Here, this bishop takes me as well, so I can't go there either. If I take the knight, I'm gobbled up by a pawn. Oh no, my queen. Boom. King takes. Now do you see it? And I'm laughing to myself at this point. Knight g4, double check on the king, and a fork on white's queen on the very next turn. I'd love to say I'd figured that out, but hell no. Okay, so I grab his queen back, he grabs my knight. He's currently up 2 pawns. We both have the bishop pair. We have, if anything, my king is slightly less exposed than his, right? So I decided to trade knights and mess up his pawns, give him 3 pawn islands to defend. Actually goes on quite a lot longer. But also we'll kind of hurry through the rest of the game. Okay, so he attacks my knight, pins it to the rook, defends, attacks my bishop. I have to come back with my rook. Okay, now he attacks, I push and counter attack the bishop. He's still better. White is still better here, but he's up 2 pawns. He's going to be. I attack the rook. I come in here. He's now +5 and a bit. Pawn takes. And now the bishop attacks my knight, and here the eval has just completely swung the other way, because I can actually take the bishop with my rook. Of course I don't do that. And this eval is sending me dizzy, man. Yeah, so that was just basically a blunder. Should have snaffled the bishop and gone on about to win the game. Okay, blunder a pawn there, win a pawn back. Bishop attacks, fork. And this is nice. This is a nice example of the square. I've done a couple of videos on this, right? There are certain attacks that quite a few pieces can do, right? It's basically any piece that doesn't only attack in straight lines, I think. But so here, I'm attacking the rook, I'm attacking the bishop, and the only squares that the rook could possibly go to, even if that bishop wasn't in the way, are also controlled by my knight, right? It could be the same around a bishop, you know, either 1 or 2 squares, or 3 squares, or 4 squares away, etc. So now we're actually in a drawn position. Now if king b5, which is what is played, I'm slightly better. I'm attacking this bishop, I'm also attacking this bishop, I'm also attacking this rook. How's he going to save everything? So he saves the rook, I grab the bishop, I'm now slightly better. I'm actually -5. Who'd have thunk it? Okay. So I'm actually up a minor piece, bizarrely. Pins the knight. Grab the bishop, thank you very much. Grab the knight, thank you very much. Propose a trade of stuff, and there's a... I guess that could have been a bit of an issue, but then I can defend here. I'm just wanting to trade off, and now a rook up, and it's all going to end pretty quickly. So here, you know, very typical kind of endgame ideas. I'm trying to get a ladder mate if I can. He goes on to there. I'm just unconcerned here. He's down to 9 seconds, I've got 14, and now I pin the pawn. I'm going to win the pawn with check, and I take the rook, and it's mate in 2 anyway, and I think he runs out of time anyway. So there you go, guys. If you are looking for a bit of inspiration, if you've been losing, you know, sucking at chess, then people can suck even worse than that. If you were looking for examples of exactly how not to play the game, then feel free, knock yourself out. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. It's certainly given me a giggle going over this game one more time. He's enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later.